Pazi, Paje. Welcome. Those who have already subscribed, thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, kindly hit the subscribe button, like and comment, and always come back for more. You can actually hit the bell, turn on the notifications, and keep following up with us. Thank you so much. I am so excited and I'm looking forward to this episode. So let's just get right into it. So as you might have seen in the intro to this episode, today we are talking about anxiety. I don't know about you, but that's something that has affected me for so long in different ways. I know there's different kinds of anxiety, and yes, I have had my fair share of most of them. But the good thing is that we learn along the way. You know, you experience something and you learn how to deal with it. You go through something, and the next time it happens, you know how to attempt it better and to go about it better and to not make the mistakes you made the previous time. So today we are talking about overcoming anxiety, specifically to take that first step. So why am I talking about this? One, there's two reasons. The first one is because it is a lesson to me as well. I am trying to, with this channel exactly, when it's been a little bit challenging, I have to say that I've been anxious, you know, with each and every subscriber that comes on. That is another person in the auditorium that you have to address. So I am taking on some tips and following some tips to help me along the way, and they're the ones that I'm going to be sharing with you today, because this might be my new beginning this time, but you also have something that you're working on, a different project. These tips could help you as well. And the second reason is that you might have also seen in my intro, I stated welcome to Batch September. My theme for this month is Batch September, and that is because batch trees symbolize hope and new beginnings. So this month I decided, you know what, I'm going to go into my notes and turn them to life. You know, you have all those ideas at the back of your mind. You have the plans, things that you jot down in your notebook when you're moving around, and then an idea comes to you and you're like, I need to write this down. So I decided for me, this month I'm going to make sure that I bring those ideas to life. So I am going for this month with hope that I'm going to take on different challenges, all the opportunities that I have, all the challenges that will come with them. I am ready to face them with hope. So that's why this month my theme is Batch September, because batch trees symbolize hope and new beginnings. So, getting into the gist of this episode, overcoming anxiety and taking that first step. Starting can be challenging, like I might have already said. So sometimes when you've already written down your idea or you already have your plan laid out, just taking that first step or maybe start to bring it to life can be so hard. And the anxiety that comes with it, maybe it is because you're doubting yourself, or maybe it is because you're under pressure, you know, that productivity pressure of the people that you're working with, or the people that you hope to work with, or the goals that you plan to achieve. So it can be a little bit challenging. When you're faced with anxiety, when you're faced with that fear of what do I do, like, what is tomorrow going to bring, how am I going to survive, just find one thing that is going to help you to take that step. So let's get into the tips that I'm sharing today. The first step is to be and love yourself. You know, there is so much strength in finding yourself and loving yourself and accepting who you are, because most of the times you're actually anxious because you're looking at yourself through other people's eyes. You know, you're seeking validation from other people and not just considering your efforts, or not just appreciating yourself. Find yourself and learn who you are. And that way you will stop seeking validation from other people. You will reduce on the pressure of pleasing other people, or you will actually stop comparing yourself to other people. And that will help you to actually move forward, because it will help you to know that this is something that I'm doing for myself. You know, this is something that I can actually do. It doesn't matter how the other person performed it, or it doesn't matter how the other person, what the other person has achieved. This is me. So accept yourself and love yourself and be yourself, and know that these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, these are my efforts, and I'm going to put all that into this project that I'm working on. And do it for yourself, you know, do it for yourself, that one day when you look back, you'll be like, yes, my efforts have paid off, you know. So stop thinking about other people, focus on your journey and focus on your plan. And that way you will actually stop being overwhelmed, because now it is you that matters. It is your plan that matters, and you're not overwhelmed by what other people might think of you, all the outside pressures, but you're focusing on what you can do. So be yourself, accept yourself, and face the journey relying on your strength and your capabilities. But also, good thing is, when you know your weaknesses, you know how to find strength in those weaknesses. If, let's say, you know that your weaknesses may be communication, or you're terrible at it, or you find it hard to plan, then that is a weakness that you've acknowledged that this is my problem. You know now how to look for someone to help you with that, or you know how to write your schedules and plan them and set alarms, so always remind yourself. So that is the first thing that I learned, to be myself, to find myself. But most importantly, being yourself helps you, because you stop comparing yourself with other people. I'm very sure you've heard this many times: comparison is the thief of joy. So when you get to know yourself, and you appreciate yourself, and you accept yourself, you know where you are, you know what you have done to get to where you are, so you focus on that instead of focusing on what other people have achieved. So when I was faced with anxiety, career anxiety to be specific, I decided to be myself, to accept myself, to accept that as a different level than other people, to accept that I had different opportunities than other people, to accept that I had different means than they did. So looking at that helped me to know that, you know what, you don't have what the other person has. You haven't been to where the other person has. They have their different stories. So write your own. You find yourself, you know yourself, and you choose to write your own story. Whenever you feel stuck, whenever you feel like the world isn't, like everything that's happening is not in your favor, like the process isn't acting in your favor, and find strength in your weaknesses to overcome your fears and overcome that anxiety. The next thing that I'm talking about is having specific goals. A project is always huge. There's so much that you have to do to implement this objects. You have the primary objectives and secondary objectives and different things that you have to work on, and you also have a team. But be specific about your goals. So if you have decided to wake up and maybe let's say start a business, what do you want to achieve? If you're waking up in the morning and you feel like you're stuck and the business isn't going anywhere, start considering the simple goals that you have. List them down and be like, this is what I want to do, this is the second thing I want to do, and then find that one thing that you can do in that moment, that one thing that despite the anxiety, that despite the pressure, the productivity pressure, that one thing that you can do. And when you have that one goal, give it a short term. You realize that you're very anxious because you have so much on your mind. I know, and I get it. When you're starting something new, you're looking at where you want to go, you're looking at your future goals, you're looking at what you want to achieve. Sometimes you're even looking at how much money you want to make, but you forget that that is a whole big project. That's a whole big pile. But if you break it down and make it clear, it will be very, very easy for you to make attainable goals. And another good thing with having specific goals is that when they are specific, which you can actually break them down and know that these are my short-term goals and these are my long-term goals. And when you have it like that, you create timelines, and timelines that are achievable, that are real for you according to your goals, especially also taking into consideration the fact that you're under pressure. Be specific about your goals. You will not be overwhelmed, and that will help you to overcome anxiety and take